Spurge here with RevZilla, and in this video we're going to break down the brake-free smart brake light available at RevZilla.com. So for the first time, I think, in my career here at RevZilla, I get to say, as seen on TV, this is a product that originally made its debut on Shark Tank in 2020, created by three founders, Alex, Henry, and Johan, which really have a strong design background. They wanted to create a product that helped create safety awareness for motorcycles out there. Much like cars are all now required to have a third brake light, essentially what they wanted to create was a third brake light for motorcyclists, which raised that warning light a little bit higher on the chassis for folks that were in cars or trucks with a higher field of view, just to call attention to the rider. So this is not something for everyone. This is a device that sits in the back of your helmet. It adds about 7 ounces of weight. But for those of you doing regular commuting that are overly, safety oriented, this does add a very simplistic way to create a third brake light to your motorcycle. Now, we've seen other products like this, but unlike other products which require something to be mounted to the motorcycle and then something to be mounted to the helmet, you have to make sure both units are charged, you have to make sure they're communicating with one another. This is a simple unit coming in around the $170 price point that mounts to the back of your motorcycle via a 3M tab. So you have one 3M tab that mounts on there. You slide it down on, and once it's on your helmet, you have a power button. And you get about 8 to 12 hours out of a charge. And once it's on, you're gonna see, well, let's start with the main function. So the main function, there's 3 different modes, and there's a little button on top, and that's how you go. So the main function is gonna be one brake light that sits in the back, and as you come to a stop, it throws a little brake light on there. So you have one little warning light that kind of always stays on, and then it can read when you're coming to a stop. There is both an accelerometer as well as a gyroscope in there, and it's a 3-axis unit for each. It's aware enough that it's not going to register on if you're checking your lane or if you go over a bump, but if you do come to a stop, it throws that brake light on. Now, that's your first mode. There's also a second mode. That's going to give you the full illumination on the back, and again, when you check it, you're going to have the whole thing light up for your extra brake. And then the third mode actually adds a slight little strobe feature into the stagnant motion. So when you're riding along, you get that little strobe motion. And again, when it comes to the brake, now you get that little strobe effect in your brake light to let people know that you're coming to a stop. But what's really impressive about this unit for me is the fact that it simply gets stuck on your helmet and you don't have any extra hardware to mount up here. Now, it's not to say it's perfect. The one thing to note is the shape of your helmet. It does come with this smart guide that you can use to line up on your helmet where you want it to mount, but you need to make sure that you have the room on your helmet that it doesn't interfere with any of the speed lines or smart little aggressive humps that you have going on the back. So for this particular Tsudishi helmet, we couldn't mount it up at the top because it would hit the spoiler on the back. So we were able to mount it underneath this slightly reduced rear spoiler, but again, it's going to be very dependent on the helmet that you're using. The other small nitpick that we have here is that this is rated for IP65 water resistance. Now, we talked to Alex, the current owner, and he said, listen, there's a 1-year warranty this. We really haven't had any warranty claims for it failing under extreme rain conditions. In the minor occurrences that it has, we have covered it, but there wasn't really a clear answer for what happens once that 1-year warranty runs out. So really the only iteration that I would love to see for this, because I see this being a product that's really going to appeal first and foremost to touring and commuting riders, is that this unit should be fully waterproof. And I say that because if you're a hardcore touring or commuting rider, you're going to be riding in the rain from time to time, and you want a unit that's going to stay dry for you. So as it stands right now, what I would say is just keeping in mind that this is something that you might not want to use in a torrential downpour. If it's a slight drizzle, you're probably going to be able to get away with this. But overall, extremely interesting technology. And like I said, from other ones that we've seen, there's 2 different units. There requires some mounting to the motorcycle. It's a bit more complicated. From what we found with testing this, it works and it's easy to use. So for those of you out there that are looking for a bit of extra safety on your motorcycle, this is definitely a product that you want to consider. It works as advertised, and like I said, the simplicity of it is the biggest win for me when you're looking at this particular product. So Again, for those of you that want more information, that want to hear how other riders are enjoying the brake-free smart system on their motorcycle, you can click the info button on your desktop or mobile device. You can read other rider reviews. And if you're still not sold as to how this is going to work for you, you can always give one of our Gear Geeks a call at 877-792-9455 or simply shoot an email over to cs@RevZilla.com. I want to thank you for joining us for this look at the brake-free smart brake light system. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.